So the other day we did a video on the top 10 CDMs in FIFA 21, and in this video today we're going to swap defensive for attacking, and we're going to talk about the best attacking midfielders in FIFA 21. If you need to get your hands on some coins to improve your ultimate team, then check out the link in the description, igvault.com, and if you use the code Kieran at checkout, you'll get yourself a pretty nice discount. Now, what's interesting about how this series works is when we are doing these top 10s, we are sticking to positions. So to be eligible for my top 10, they have to come out of packs as a cam or be available as a cam straight away from an SBC. For instance, if someone's a CDM and someone wants to play him as a cam, that's not going to fly here. We don't do that. Those kind of position change players will be featuring in another video. It's also worth mentioning that the cam role this year isn't really fulfilled by many actual midfielders. A lot of people in game like to switch wingers to a central role. The best example possible is probably Neymar. People love to play him as a cam because of his 5-star weak foot, but because he comes out of packs as a winger and not as a cam, he won't feature in this video, even though he is an absolute beast in that position. It's also worth noting the fact that we don't include icons in this series currently either. Icons in the future are going to get their own video. I don't want to include them right now just because one, there's so many of them, and two, prime icon moments are relatively new and I haven't had a chance to try a bunch of them yet. So icon cams will come at a later date. As per usual, if you could leave a like rating on the video, that'd be very much appreciated, and don't forget to be active in the comments too. I want to know your top 10s or at least your top 5 cams in this year's game, and I also want to know what position you want me to cover next, or do you want me to do the position change kind of theme next? Let me know all that good stuff in the comments. Okay, so top 10, let's go. In at number 10 is actually a brand new item. It is the 89 league player Javier Pastore. Now, there might be a little bit of recency bias in this pick, but I really did enjoy using this card, and I do believe it to be a pretty effective item too. I know a lot of people are just going to complete the objective to throw him into an SVC, and that's absolutely fine, but I enjoyed playing with this card. I think he offers some really good links in game, and his output in matches is also really good. Now, you'll notice a pattern in most of my top 10, not too many of them at all. This guy's 6'2", but in game for me, he was really good with the ball. His output, as I say, was very good in terms of goals and assists, and it was just a good card. The 4-star weak foot, also a big benefit to this item. Do wish he had a bit better stamina and maybe was a bit better on the ball, but I put that more down to his body type. But yeah, great card. In at number 9 is actually a pretty old item. He was released very early into the game, but he was very good at the time. Now, more recently, he's probably a bit behind the power curve, but I still think it is a very good item. It is Rule Breaker's Talisca, and it's another item that's got that 4-star. Weak foot is big on a cam in my opinion, and it's another cam that's of a decent height in the lower end of my top 10. Now, what did I like about this card? First of all, agility felt quite nice for a big player. I also liked his physical traits as well in game, and he also just seemed to have really good shooting, which is kind of surprising when you look at the stats because they're nothing too special, but in game they were very effective. He's also a quick cam, and that's something I like, and another pattern you'll notice in my top 10 is a lot of these guys have really good shooting, and you guys know me, I love my goal scoring cams. If you watch the reviews, you'll know exactly where I'm coming from. I like to use my cams as second strikers at times. In at number 8 is an Ultimate Team icon, I would say. It's Marco Reus, who in previous years has had some absolutely excellent cards. However, in FIFA 21, his non-inform sucks. I really don't like it at all, and I don't think his inform is too much better. But there is a but. His Rule Breakers item is an exception to that just because of how the boosts work. And his Rule Breakers card I actually think is quite good, and it's a fun item to use as well. Yeah, maybe its pace isn't too amazing, but the shooting is very good, and his physicals are really nice. That's the best thing about this item, the fact that the physicals are boosted so much, whereas on this guy's non-inform, they suck. But yeah, like this card, good on the ball, nice passing, really good shooting, and positionally a monster too, and it's another one with the 4-star. We follow on from Marco Reus with another Bundesliga option. We have Foot Freeze Gnabry, who unfortunately is no longer available. He was an SBC item, but he was a pretty good one, and he's actually got pace, which is interesting because this year, for whatever reason, EA nerfed Sancho's and Gnabry's pace massively. So it's good to see that this freeze item has, pretty good pace because, it's a key stat in this game. This item also has pretty exceptional dribbling, especially for the stage that it came out in as well, and also in front of goal. It's very nice because it's got elite shot power. 4-star once more, and playing him centrally is quite fun. It comes back to the thing that I said at the start though. Wingers as cams are the go-to this year just because they're the more mobile options. So Gnabry, obviously originally in game, is a winger, but this special item item is a central card. There is no doubt in my mind that if Neymar got a central special item at some point in this game, like he probably will, that card would easily make my top 10, probably would be to the very top end as well. Now, this next one may come as a bit of a surprise to people. Maybe not the fact that he's included, but maybe the fact that I'm ranking him so highly. We have the league player, Molle. Now, this is another one of them items that actually came out pretty early in the cycle, but I thought it was a really good card then, and it's still usable now. Is it as impactful at this stage? No, but it's still a usable card, as I say, and it's a pretty good item, and considering it doesn't cost anything to get, fair enough, it takes a bit of time, it's great value, and if you're running with a French/Ligue 1 themed side, it's definitely a viable option. He's got good pace, really nice dribbling in front of goal, he's got really good shot power and long shots, and his passing is also up to a really good standard. The only thing I don't really like about this card is the composure and reactions, but other than that, it's a very nice item, and it's one of them that if you can dribble well, you'll get a lot out of this card. So yeah, ranked quite highly, more for value for money than anything, but still deserves a top 10 spot in my opinion. Okay, it's time now to crack the top 5, and we begin with a 90 rated What If Alejandro Gomez. Now, at the time of recording, he's now got 3 games to get 5 more goals. Well, not him, like just himself, but his team. So hopefully that happens. But either way, even if he doesn't get boosted, his 90 rated item is a brilliant card. Obviously, absolutely fantastic pace, and it's his dribbling in game that does it for me. He is ridiculously good on the ball. He's super weak, but if you can dribble well, you will get a lot out of this card because he's ridiculously agile, very short, and he's just so easy to avoid would-be defenders with this item. He's also got really nice output as well. He's got good passing, and also if you put, you know, a shooting heavy chem style on this guy, you'll get some really nice shooting stats out of him as well. A Deadeye on this guy makes him a ridiculously good attacking mid, and he's an absolute beast. And if he does get that upgrade, he might even rank it even higher, but we're going to have to wait to see if he does get that first. In at number 4 is Road to the Final Quincy Promes. Now, once again, this is where quote-unquote value for money comes into play in these rankings, because if this guy cost a lot more, he would definitely rank lower, but because he's relatively cheap, that is why he's up so high. In-game though, excellent item. I don't know what it is this year, but this guy, even his non-inform, is a very effective item, and I actually think this Road to the Final item is very good. Now, unfortunately, this card is no longer active, so it can't get upgraded anymore, but as things stand, I still believe it to be a very strong item. I like the pace a lot, the shooting is also quite nice, and the passing and dribbling are also up to a good standard. He's one of them cards which, when you look at the actual in-game stats, they're nothing too flashy, but in-game, he's an absolute beast, and for those of you who have used him or come up against him, I think you'll know exactly what I mean. Also, this guy comes with a bonus of having 5-star skills as well. Okay, so let's do the top 3. All 3 of these are absolutely ridiculous, and it's really hard to actually split them apart, but we're going to go in at number 3 with Team of the Year KDB. Now, some people might be surprised to see him not at number 2, but we'll discuss why that is when we actually discuss who is at number 2. But for now, let's talk about Kevin De Bruyne, who is just exceptional on this game. Surprise, a Team of the Year card is good. 5-star weak foot is absolutely massive. 4-star skills is awesome. Really good shooting on this card. Like, he could definitely play striker, no issues. Passing is exceptional. Probably is one of the best, well, no, not probably is, definitely is one of the best distributors on the game. Arguably could be the best. Really nice physicals on this card, good pace, good shooting, elite passing, and pretty nice dribbling. If he had a bit better agility in game, he might rank higher, but for me, the other 2 are just a bit better on the ball than him, and that ultimately is why they've ranked higher. But still, Team of the Year KDB is an exceptional item. So who has beat KDB to the number 2 spot? It is Future Stars Gio Reyna. Now, when I used this card, I absolutely loved him. This kind of item fits my playstyle to a T. He was quick, excellent in front of goal, really nice passing, and for someone who's actually quite tall at 6'1" in terms of cams, his dribbling felt very nice, and also physically he's an absolute monster. He's got 85 strength, which is not a common thing amongst cams with good dribbling, and as I say, in-game for me, this card was just class. It really was. It scored some absolute bangers for me. His distribution was solid, his dribbling was great, and he was quick. He, for me, is, like, you know, up there, and he's going to be endgame as well. I believe this card will have usage all the way through FIFA, and even at Team of the Season card, I think he'll be a good Bundesliga cam option. If you can fit this guy in your team, he's definitely worth trying out in my opinion. He was excellent, and if you want to see a player review on him, obviously there is one on the channel. In fact, I think pretty much every player that's in this video has had a video on them at some point, so yeah, feel free to check those out if you wish to do so. I don't think anyone's going to be surprised to see my number 1 pick. It is, of course, Team of the Year Bruno Fernandes. Now, to be honest, like, his Player of the Month cards could have featured in this video, but obviously we're going to go for the top rated one. It's just a ridiculous card. I actually packed it untradeable, and I literally use it in every single team. It is ridiculous. Now, I know this video is focused solely on the cam position, but you can literally use this card anywhere, and I mean pretty much anywhere. Even at centre back with a shadow, if you wanted to, his defensive stats are good enough. Maybe wouldn't use him in goal though, he is only 5'10", but nonetheless, in game, very good pace, elite shooting, elite passing, brilliant dribbling, very nice physicals, and also his defending actually isn't that bad even as a base card, but with a shadow, obviously he becomes very well rounded. Now, you've got to be really picky to pick a negative out of this item, and the only thing really is the 4-star weak foot. I just wish he had 5-star, that would just, you know, make him even better. But other than that, like, the card is pretty much perfect for a midfielder, and yeah, it's just class, and it's definitely worthy of the #1 spot in my opinion, and I doubt even in a few months that will change unless he gets a team of the season item and EA choose to make that higher rated than this team of the year, which I kind of think they will. I kind of think that's one of the reasons they didn't go overboard with the team of the year ratings this year. Anyway, to sum up, #1, Bruno Fernandes for me. So that is that. For me, those are the top 10 best attacking mid options in the game currently. I do want to reiterate what I said at the start though. Remember, position changes do not count in these top 10. They'll be covered in a separate video. I'm fully aware everyone likes to use Neymar as a cam, and he's a beast there, don't get me wrong. But yeah, base position is what matters in these top 10s. Anyway, as per usual, I do want to invite you guys to get involved. Let me know your rankings in the comments below. Also, let me know what position we should cover next. I do want to do strikers. I know a lot of you are asking for that, but I kind of want to wait till after FUT Birthday to do that, because normally there are some ridiculously good attackers in that promo. So we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.